We have a story to tell. We are 4 million disciples of Jesus, living out God's baptismal calling. We are 10,000 congregations, 65 synods, and dozens of church-wide ministries. Together, we boldly participate in God's work in the world as the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. As we embark on our 25th anniversary this year, we are a church that is deeply rooted and always being made new. I think about January 1st, 1988, the beginning of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, and what preceded that day. 3 church bodies had been engaged in prayer and conversation, trying to imagine what can God do, bringing the strengths that we have to a new church. They literally believed that for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of participating in God's expanding mission of reconciliation in the whole world, we can be stronger together than apart. A new church, deeply rooted in the soil of God's work and this confessional movement we call Lutheran for 500 years, is the soil from which we now draw our strength as we live into this 25th anniversary year and begin to imagine how God is yet making all things new.
One of the things that we are noticing more and more is our pastors and lay leaders are coming together to put some plans, to dream into the future. People are not necessarily coming to the congregations as they did some decades ago. It is more that almost like God is inviting us out, and that we're being invited to meet God in the neighbor. Birthing New Start is not a new idea. In fact, the ELCA's first New Start was so eager, they wanted to start the very first day the ELCA was born.
We said we would like to have an organization on January 1st at 12:01 a.m. to make sure we're the first new mission in the new ELCA. They said, oh, don't worry, Sunday the 3rd will be fine.
Our first meeting venue was an abandoned real estate office.
The little church, we always call it the little toy church, has some great memories, but we outgrew it really, really fast.
The things that I remembered was the friendliness. It was so friendly.
We were the first new church of the ELCA back 25 years ago, and now we are starting a congregation. We want to continue to give the gift that we have received.
The question isn't whether or not we can afford to do this. The question is, what's God asking us to do?
That community in Palm City, as well as the whole ELCA in 25 years, we are writing an extra chapter in the book of Acts because the Spirit is leading us with something new, always being made new, creating new communities into the future in a changing context of the United States, being faithful, and then reaching out with the open arms to a variety of communities in our society.
I think each one of us matter to the ELCA. I see the ELCA just reaching out in so many different corners of the world and being able to touch people. The Lutheran Church has a lot to give. There's a lot of love that comes from the Lutheran Church.
Even though we live in maybe rural Texas or inner city Detroit, we do get to be in relationship with a companion that's living on the other side of the world. Through our mission personnel, companion synods, and churches, we are in ministry together in more than 100 countries. In the country of Myanmar, young Lutheran churches are growing. The ELCA participates in this growth through its relationship with the Lutheran Church in Malaysia.
We were trying to do mission work with a new model. We found that it was more effective to partner with, let's say, a church in the region, the Lutheran Church in Malaysia, where we can send in pastors and teachers to strengthen and to build up the work in Myanmar.
We are now a new member of the LWF family. We are hoping that we will have more understanding about the Lutheranism through our other member churches. who are already a member of LWF for a long time. And we have to learn from them, as well as they can learn a lot of things from our country, as well as from our people.
There are many ways in which God makes us new. We see that in the excitement of the new and emerging church in Myanmar. We also see that in the resilience of our response to natural disasters, as in one congregation's response to Hurricane Sandy.
The words of Psalm 46 kept going through my mind. God is our refuge and strength. And though the earth be changed. And the earth was changed that morning. I remember thinking distinctly that New Jersey would never be the same, that the city of Hoboken would never be the same. There was a woman named Jennifer who came, and she just came and she was helping out. And one of the things that she did was, we often end up with a lot of clothes. And she was going around to some of our homeless guests and asking if they needed clothes. And there was one man, Jennifer asked him if he wanted some socks and new shoes. And so she went and got him socks and new shoes. But more importantly, she didn't just give them to him, she got down on her hands and knees and changed his sock and his shoes. And all of these visions of Mary washing Jesus' feet and Jesus, all of these images of Maundy Thursday and foot washing and Jesus washing his disciples' feet flowed through my head. And there were lots of moments like that.
Always being made new is most fully represented for me in the ministry of the ELCA Youth Gathering, the Multicultural Youth Leadership Event, and the Definitely Abled Youth Leadership Event. We get such a glimpse of who the church is today and what the church can be tomorrow. There is a connection and a bridge to be made between this historical church and traditions and theological ways of being that we have with what's happening currently. The ELCA has the capacity to be on the leading edge of what does it mean to be the church in new, innovative, and creative ways that might not look anything like we've seen before. So from working with young adults in community organizing and advocacy and mission and service and just having this global connection and really pushing the boundaries and the envelope about what it means to be the church in the 21st century.
In this fertile soil that goes deep into the history of God's promises and God's people, we are so bold to believe that God continues to bring growth in the lives of faith, in the ministries of God's people, and continues to make all things new. What a marvelous moment God has given us for being this part of the body of Christ together. The Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, always being made new.